Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this quick tutorial I wanted to show you guys how you can make a pretty neat leaf cane using scrap clay. This is clay left over from my lily pad cane tutorial, and so I'm just going to take it. It's leaf green, bright green, and Granny Smith Sculpey 3 and Primo Sculpey mixed together with some poppy seed souffle clay actually, and I'm just going to get this reduced down to about the length of our clay that we have. This is rolled out on the thinnest setting of my pasta machine, and so I'm just making a nice little plug. There we go. And then I'm going to roll this in our clay. And then once we get down to about right here, I'm actually going to take this as a bit of bright green mixed with the Granny Smith, and I'm going to feed this through my pasta machine on the thinnest setting. Please pardon the noise. The motor is going to be going. And so I've passed that through. I'm going to go ahead and trim off some of that edge there, just to give us a nicer little bit of edge. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that out of frame, but we've trimmed up the edges, and I'm just going to put this right on top, and I want it to line up with where this little bit of the cane, our first layer of the dark wrapping, will be stopping. And I'm going to give us a little bit of like a jelly roll, or not jelly roll, spiral effect there on the outside. I love doing this as just a way to use up the odds and ends of clay, that it's like I've mixed it, so I don't want to have to put it back in with the original color, but I also don't want to have to store a bunch of kind of mixed clays. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And I'm just going to roll and kind of reduce this down a little bit. I'm actually going to reduce it down quite a lot, and I'm rolling and bringing it out past the edges. And depending on the size of, this is actually going to be making the cells of the leaf. Like whenever you look at a leaf with like veins and stuff in it, might be able to show you with this fake leaf, but they have all these like little subsections. And so I wanted to make almost a little bit of a lace cane. And this is going to actually end up being way darker than I had originally anticipated, but maybe it's just a nice little like goth leaf. I don't really know. So I'm going to take that and then smush them together. But yeah, this is basically very similar concept of a lace cane. I just wanted to show you guys the results that you can get with similar techniques, but using different color schemes. And so I'm not worried too much about it smushing up weird on the ends. This is a real natural, free flowy. Sorry, I'm fighting with a sneeze. So I'm going to keep cutting it. So there we are with our little shape. So that actually has like a really neat inlay texture. If I could have done this with more contrasting colors, like maybe if I had lined it just in the bright green instead of the dark and given it more of a, it would have become a lot more evident, I think. But yeah, I think that makes a really cool little cane that could be used in a bunch of different ways. Like if I had lined it with glow in the dark, that might have looked pretty cool. And then from here we would take this and we can shape it into, I start off just as a triangle. And then that end's always weird, but I just deal with it. But yeah, we can do a triangle, but then start just rounding in the points. So we can lay it on one side, round that off, and lay it on the other side, round that off. And so then from here, now normally I would pop this into the freezer and let it harden up a little bit so we don't get a lot of distortion. But I'm just going to slice with one of my thinner tissue blades. And there we have just a little leaf. And you could really make whatever color you want out of this. And I'm going to use this porcupine quill to actually just roll out in each direction, because even though it's a thicker piece of clay, if you make the edges thin, then all of it will look thin. And then I'm just going to come through and do a little bit of veining. And you could actually use the tip of the porcupine quill to give yourself a really interesting, like, fluted edge. There's leaves, you know, of all sorts of shapes and sizes. You could have this be based off of something either from your imagination or from, you know, something that's been discovered in nature, or kind of an amalgam, a mashup of the two. And then I just kind of peel it off my hand. I really like doing this whenever I'm wearing gloves, because then it keeps me from getting, the more polymer clay buildup I get on my hands, the stickier I get, and the more and more clay sticks on me. So, but yeah. So that's a nice little leaf. You could use that. And then we're going to I'm actually going to hold it by the bottom. And then again, use the porcupine quill to kind of, I'm pinching and then dragging down. And that gives us a nice little bit of shaping. And so we could take this and we could bake it and add it to resin pieces. Or we could use some Pearl-Ex to brighten up the surface. We could antique it. We could, you know, all sorts of stuff. Or we could take it as is and sculpt it in with other pieces. But this is how I like to do a lot of the leaves on my fairy houses. It makes me feel like I'm making very good use of my scrap clay or anything that's left over from projects. So if y'all have any questions, comments, or ideas, or requests for future tutorials, I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment down below. Please like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff if you'd like to stay up to date with my daily tutorials and vlogs. And you know, twice a week now we hang out in a live stream and do live Q&A sessions and stuff. So we have a lot of fun here, and I think y'all might like it. So thank you for joining me. And if you would like to support my work beyond just what's happening here on YouTube, please check me out on Patreon. There'll be links down in the video description below, as will be links to all the different tools and materials that I used. And if you want to share pictures of what you've made following along with my tutorials, or just anything in general, please share it on my Facebook wall or tag me on Instagram. I love, love, love seeing what you guys make. So thanks again, y'all. And until next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you around. Bye!